There you go, YouTube. Yep, that's what you see. It's Friday, March 14th. We're about, 6:22. Just come back from eating supper. Had to take or didn't have to, but the daughter had a dance and all that tonight, or this evening, or well, it started a half hour ago. So, got a ride in. Father-in-law brought me back out here, so I didn't have to stay around for that. They was getting the ride to there and all that. So, yep, I'm back to rolling. Got started after lunch. Just kind of got the tool set, how we wanted it, monkeying around, adjusting a little bit. Got her all set this morning a little bit. Didn't take an hour because it's never been. This tractor is brand new. Never been on this cultivator, so didn't know what all we'd have to fine tune, finesse. Really just changed the fore and aft. They got it re-welded, so really just changed the fore and aft. And I did not change the depth anything from what we was last ran with 2290. So I've not changed it. Right now, as you can see on the video, I'm running 10th gear, 6.7, 80. Right now we're 100%. We're back to 80. I mean, we're just bouncing back and forth. This was ripped last fall. This was dissed. This is going to be corn on corn. This was dissed last fall, and ran our 730 C ripper on. And I think from what I could tell, the 730s and 530s, they leave like a streak, I guess. It's harder to see after ammonia, because this has had ammonia around on it too. It's harder to see, but I think from what I could tell visually looking, I'm kind of crossing his angle a little bit, just barely, lightly. So kind of mixing it in a little bit. I'm not like following that angle to that angle straight. I'm just kind of mixing her up a little bit. I mean, like I said, with ammonia, it's hard to tell how close you are, but what I could tell back over there in the corner, that's what I thought it was. And if it ain't, no big deal. But anyway, I'm running an angle. If I'm opposite of him, it's no big deal. But basically the ridges you see is what from the ammonia toolbar, because basically we ripped it at an angle, one way or another. Tell me which way he ripped if he remembers, because I think to me he was going this way, but anyway, whatever he went, don't worry, don't really no big deal, because it's getting worked anyway. It's working fine. But yeah, working good. This here is not tiled at all. There is no tile in this farm. I worked 55 acres of bean stubble first, tiled, worked beautiful. Now there's about half an acre where we got an electric line that kind of runs through it. We got a phone line that kind of comes into it. Kind of couldn't lay, how it laid, we couldn't lay tile into a little corner, half an acre. And it wasn't bad. it was fine, it was just packy. It stuck to the tires, still crumbled. But when you can work 55 and you got a half acre that ain't, you're not waiting. But this is not tiled. I know it's cornstalk dust, but man, it is. That a little shocking to how this is working. So hopefully. And corn on corn's a 2-trip anyway, guaranteed. And what I worked a little bit ago, chisel plowed. It's a 2-trip anyway. You chisel plow it, you are a 2-trip. You're a 2-trip deal no matter what for corn. Just no way out of it. Now, if you had a till-all or say a sunflower finish into it, and there is the new farm. That is all the new farm right there. And I did run a little bit trying with this cultivator. This cultivator, I'm not going to go through that stuff at all. The trash flow on this cultivator is very, very lacking anyway. And it's how that harrow is so close to the shanks. I could watch it when I was making that pass. I just thought, hell, I'll scoot over and kind of get the line chewed up good. And and it was just balling up just right there in front of that harrow. It's just too close. It can't settle out, and it just piled up. A lot of them, they all went through fine, but it made piles. The other cultivator and crumbler, I think it'll go through it. I really do. I hope. I mean, and that's the problem. I mean, all that stuff. I mean, basically, they cut the wheat was cut and left. So there never was a combine to come back through and cut the beans and chew the stubble up some more. So I mean, you got long stubble that didn't rot, that basically laid on top and it didn't rot. And with the 730B ripper, I mean, the ripper is not designed to bury residue, so it's all laying on top. Wheat stubble's wetter anyway, so yeah, so it's all laying on top. But I think the other cultivator will go through it fine. And if anything, when my retailer puts ammonia on it, that'll help chew stuff up as well. And it should go through there fine. I would love, I mean, we're not, no warnings here, no nothing, but I mean, we are windy, calling for severe storms. I would love for it to stay dry and be able to run that down. Now the other cultivator is still tore apart. It's ready to go, but it just, we got to have sweeps and a hydraulic cylinder. But I gotta have had the cylinder. No big deal. It's not no good because I still don't have the sweeps. They're supposed to be sending me a deal to make it work, and I would tell you what it was, but I would tell you wrong. But whatever it was I'm missing, they said that they talked yesterday, and they are being sent to me ASAP from the company. So how quick is that? I don't know. I can't say they'll be here tomorrow. I can't say they'll be here Monday. I mean, I just don't know. I would love for it to stay dry to work that, because I really think that it would help chew that stubble up, kind of get it to rotting some, because I mean, wheat stubble has that, and kind of like corn on corn, wheat stubble has that, goes through that crappy stage, all that carbon rotting and all that. Now we've chisel plowed it and thought it helped it some. You bury that up and mix it some. I mean, I couldn't chisel plow, because I don't think it went through their chisel plow. I kind of wish I would have tried some, now half and half, to tried it to see, but I don't think it would have went through it, because there was just so much fodder. Hindsight, I didn't do it. Here's where we're at now. But yeah, I would love to get it worked and just kind of get that microbe start chewing on that stuff, and if somehow you was a month later ever getting here, you wouldn't be planting corn immediately on it. That way it'd air out good. And I don't think, now one thing that we've kind of said, in a dry year we've seen it, and this is ripped. We've always noticed if you rip it and it really soaks up, it stays wet. Now, I think both local news channels this week at some point, can't tell you what day it was, are basically all saying that we're like 3 to 4 inches below our average from the first of the year. So, I mean, we're not wet. We aren't wet at all. We aren't wet at all. I am very, very glad. I'm very glad I got that worked last fall. Not saying it would be mud right now, but it probably would be. But because I would be there now, working it way too wet to try and knock it over. So it's a very, very much added benefit. It's been deep tilled or not. It's been worked. The stuff can get some dirt on top, can air out. But yeah, and that's better off. You kind of, otherwise, just that wheat stubble not worked would have been a mess. But at least that's done to it. So, I mean, hindsight, I don't know. I would love to be able to work it, but it just don't sound like it's gonna happen to be able to do any work here come next week. Now they are saying back in the 70s. Now the one weather forecast I did see, I think they maybe rain Friday, and maybe Friday, Wednesday, one of them days is approaching. I mean, now there's more talk now, severe weather here now. I mean, they are talking it up now. I mean, coming through at night, if we kind of miss it, I mean, I don't think we're going to. And not saying I want to either. I mean, I would love to get more stalks laid down. Not saying no. I'd love to keep going on that. But I want to get a bean planter. I want to get my cultivator done, get a bean planter pulled in. I want to get all that done, and nothing's going my way. I mean, you kind of start working on stuff early, and the planter's set in the shop for a month. Corn planter. Cultivator's been in the shop since a week before Denver. yeah, or no, a week, maybe a little bit before that. Yeah, we brought it in the Sunday before Denver. So yeah, so I mean, everything that gets in there, it sets there, and that's kind of my hope was to pull this inside, but with no wing cylinder, you can't fold it up to get it out of the way. So it's just kind of frustrating. You're sitting in the shop, 40-degree weather, you can't work because something's locked in here and you can't move it out. But we got all this ready to go outside. A screw up. When we measured the baskets for the center, because I bought 2 aftermarket baskets and I bought 2 rim baskets just to have a good comparison. A guy out of Michigan made them, and I won't give a review right now. I won't, because it's not a fair comparison. But anyway, we bought a flat and a round bar combo. From what we got, the basket I ordered from him, what we measured, is fine, is great, works fine, perfect. It is an inch bigger diameter, and that was probably my screw up. I told him the wrong size, but it works just fine. And I think comparing a older wore out rim linger to a new one of that, we can't compare. But like my uncle said, you can tell right there it's got more contact hitting the ground. It looks to be smashing the clods better. And we both said that, but not a fair comparison test, if that makes sense to you. But anyway, so I got them both. I got the one put back on that we're running now, got it all put back on, and got the other basket for the front, got it all put together. And we're like, oh hey, let's just take this all apart, put this basket together, and call it good, and put it all back together nice and easy. You got more room. And so I got the one basket off, put the other basket in there, put the bearings on, and got to look, and I'm like, well hey, this basket's different. Yeah, the one basket on sitting in the cab, the left right hand side, the one basket's 8 or 9 inches longer than the other side. If we knew that, we forgot about it, but we just assumed they was all the same. Nope. So my screw up, we kind of thought it was all the same, didn't know any different. Whoops. So I'm running an old basket, a rim linger basket we didn't take off on the rear, and then I'm running on the other side, I'm running a new combo basket in the rear as well, and we're rolling. The other baskets were supposed to, well, they ordered them, and we was told this week. I really figured Monday. Now they didn't call today. I didn't call and ask either, because I wasn't jacking with the baskets when I was working in the field. So hopefully they show up Monday or Tuesday. We get them slapped on. It won't take long, and we're good to go. But I really think it's going to be a very good deal. Now we're kind of talking, the others need replaced, but I kind of want to, sorry, I've got ditches I'm rigging up around. I kind of want to run them together, or run these apples to apples and see and compare if I want to go with all these. But actually, and I got to look at the quote, or the price, but I think his aftermarket baskets are cheaper than what the factory rim linger is. I don't know. I'm very sold in it, and like me and Uncle said, and the 2 hired guys that have looked at them, I mean, we all kind of said we think that round bar might also keep rocks out of there. I mean, that sounds to be another added benefit that we weren't thinking of, but it would reinforce that straight edge. I mean, it makes sense. After we looked at it, it makes sense. So that might be an added plus you weren't thinking of. But trying something different. Now I will say this, and I told my uncle, he's got an option for a crumbler, what I call an unearthed crumbler type basket. It's not identical, don't have the curvature or the throw, it don't look like. But I mean, it is very, very, very expensive. I have to look at the price sheet he gave me. I mean, I am very tempted to buy, if I do it, to buy 2 of them out of curiosity, because I mean, not knocking this crumbler. just the flat bar does not. The flat bar don't chip the fodder. The crumbler, how it's done, the crumbler will kind of, and I can't see it so dusty now, but the crumbler will kind of, you can see it kind of chewing the stalks up, breaking them apart, and like this one here, you just don't see it doing that. I mean, it may crimp it and bust it, but like you see the crumbler like actually kind of rips it to shreds at times. To me, that's very, very worthwhile. I mean, you got these fibrous corn stalks that I don't think rotted all that much last fall. I mean, I will be honest, I don't think they did. But I mean, we was so dry, and when we got cold, there was no really rotting. When we got cold, and we stayed cold till, a few weeks ago, really kind of deal. I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of my personal preference. Planting behind, I will plant behind the crumbler any day of the week. This is okay. But the crumbler, it just, and I don't know what it is, the crumbler just plants better. Maybe I'm picky. Everybody's different. Everybody likes something different. The personal preference is me, and I've always loved the job a crumbler did. Now, if you compared it to, say, a sunflower tool, it's what I would love to have. But I think, like a buddy said, to make a sunflower tool great, you need to pull a crumbler. Well, I'm already 95, 96 feet nose to the end of mine, and throwing a sunflower finishing tool that's about 5-7 foot longer anyway, yeah, that just adds a different dimension to that. I don't know, but and then as of right now, the ground's working beautiful. I mean, I'll show you a picture. Can't really see much of we're moving, but I mean, it's breaking down some stalks quite a bit too. I mean, of course, speed helps too, like anything. A little more speed to it. There's a little bit of that. Working good. I got 20 some acres left here in this field, and I'm done. I'm going back to work behind my old house. Tiled corn stalks. That's going to beans. No, I'm not ready to plant beans yet. My planter's not even been in my shop yet. Do I got to do very much to it? No, I do not think I've got to do much to it. I did buy a bunch of singulator deal kits. I know I remember when I was taking them apart there last year. Yeah, they're last year, or taking the meters back apart. There's a few of them kind of were questionable. Need some care. I think a few things were broken, but I didn't fix the dink. I didn't have anything, so I got the parts there. But just basically putting in meters, checking her out. I mean, it basically got CMI'd last year when they was up here, and they just kind of halfway went through it. When I was here real quick, nothing that they seen immediately needed attention. Everything was good, so we'll run through that real quick, and that won't take me. If I get my part-time guy to help me when he comes home from work one evening, have him give me a hand, slap the meters in real quick, and that's done. Hopefully, I'm having a 2-day deal. It's out of there, or maybe I can even do it all too. All depends what we're doing. I mean, we got a bunch of grain to haul. We're back on the schedule for crap. That went through that ditch. We're back on the schedule to haul grain again as of right now. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we got still February corn to haul. That when when it was bitterly cold, the roads got posted, so that was the end of the grain hauling when the roads got posted, and now we're dry and they're back open. But so we've got that to kind of continue with. Need to get a lot of that done. And just got a lot of knick-knack stuff to do that just kind of thought we'd have time to do it, and just everything's went wrong, and we don't have time. But it's life, I guess, whatever you want to say to that. It's life. But that's my video. I guess I've rambled longer than I thought I was ever going to. But so far, the tractor. I'll give you that quick glance. It's power shift. I mean, like I said, I love the no whine. That's one thing I hate on my tractor, the whine, which I knew that from Guys with the Deer. They whine. I mean, it's a very, very loud, annoying whine to me. I mean, once you're used to it, I'm okay, but like running this, it's like, man, it's quiet. It's quiet. I like it. No issues really with it. One thing I did have had worked 35, 38 acres, but with a faulty auto steer wouldn't work, and something about the axle angle sensor needed calibrated. So pulled out the YouTube, kind of couldn't figure out what the heck I need to do because this monitor's still kind of new to me, don't know where all that stuff's at. And I'm like, man, it would work flawlessly. The GPS guy was here updating my other 310 with software to run the Xyway foam system better. And man, it was spot on, dead on, and beautiful. I mean, which I've always said the Connect tractors with the monitor, I don't know what the auto steer is, but to me, it is excellent. And I've always complained on the Pros just being wobbly, I guess, or not as close. But I mean, this here, that's great. Now, booting up, I give them an F on that. The booting up part of this monitor, booting up, I give them an F. Because it is horrible. I mean, you can basically go outside, take a piss, and walk around a tractor 4 or 5 times, and it might be all booted up for you. I mean, it's pathetically slow. I mean, that's kind of like I always said, when you improve something, you get better. Well, they went backwards on that one. Anyway, but yeah, other than that, in the tractor, I mean, I've worked 80 acres of fuel, and I'm down 2 bars of depth. Now, I was down 2 bars of fuel because we were on a grain cart some, but I mean, I don't know when I want to put more fuel back into it, but I mean, right now, 10th gear, 1850, 1860, 14 gallon an hour. Oh, I don't have it. Where is that one at? I guess I don't have where it'll actually tell you the acres instantaneously where it's running. But since I started, I'm running 22 acres an hour. So, not bad on fuel. I mean, it's working it because it's 95, 96, 90 here. I mean, it's coming and going. 2% slip. Working good. I mean, no complaints in the tractor. I think that's all I can think of, guys. Pretty well. I mean, I harness here. I'm going to. That is to run my 12. That is to run my 1200 bean planter. Or I got to find a better way to hang it because it blocks. But I think I can take the one thing that your monitor. I can hook it up and get out of the way. Because it's how that is, it blocks your mirror a little bit. It blocks your visibility in the mirror. You know, I got the mirror set for the edge of the cover letter anyway, so it's no crucial deal. But just kind of how I got it, how it's working for me. What I'm comfortable with. Everybody's different. Now to me, the seat is different, or maybe to me the seat is different, and not in a bad way. I mean, my seat is my 310 is fine. It's just I feel different in this seat, and I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel different in this seat, and I can't explain how to make sense of that for you guys, but I just feel different. Heated, cooled seat, no, exactly the same as mine. Nice seat. I won't complain a bit. I mean, it's a very, very nice seat. I do. When they went to this seat, I will give them credit. It is a very, 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 very nice seat. Well, I guess I've rambled long enough because that's almost 24 minutes of content here that I wasn't counting on that much. So, but yeah, I got this to do and all that, so I will catch you. May do one next week. I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see what next week's show's about. When I get the stuff in the cultivator, I will show you that, so I can show you all that too. Got some other news to share at some point. The one guy that watched the video does know part of it. It's not officially done yet. Still waiting on some things. Doing some looking myself and asking around some other stuff that he knows about. But yeah, there's stuff coming that's just not officially done yet. Still kind of in limbo on a few things, but one piece is done to it, and as he knows, one piece is done. The other piece is not done yet. So yeah, and that may be a June video, probably before that ever comes out, because I don't know how long that'll take, because we're not done yet with some stuff and asking some questions. So still kind of learning and asking some things. But yeah, if you want to know what I got questions on, Jeremy, you can call me, because we're still in limbo on that one. But that's the update, so I guess I'll see y'all later.